Hello, Twitch. We are now live, and so thank you very much for joining us today. You can see that I've got a slightly updated layout because we have an updated addition to our game today. So you can see every players say hi. Just come hi. Okay, cool. Hi. Oh yeah, there was Farrar. Like, what? What am I doing?
I gotta hold my keep an intimidation kind of like vibe.
Okay, just like, got it going. You got the. Anyway, hi. So we're carrying on. This is a well-oiled machine. The welcome again to the Olivon Chronicles. So, for those of you who are not familiar with the game out there in Twitchland, watching this on video on demand or live, we play in a homebrewed setting called Olivos. And the party has had all sorts of interesting shenanigans happen, everywhere from trying to incite kobold revolutions to beat up goblins, just beating up the goblins anyway. Doing crab races in a podunk town on the coast, um, finding otherworldly ships and killing beholder zombies inside them, making their way to a big city only to have to leave the very next morning because they accidentally kill somebody while they were just trying to blow off some steam. And so they're now kind of making their way. Their intended target eventually is a town called Hillholm, where the family of the person they accidentally killed apparently resides. The deal being made that if they can make good with the family, then they can potentially make good with the Adventurers Guild that they wronged back in Claymouth. However, they're taking a bit of a side trip. They realize that Bob Moss, his home isn't too far away in the Glazierblatt Forest, and so they thought maybe somebody's comfort space might be might be due. That might help them out to a certain extent. Bob will be joining us here very shortly. Today we are going to be without Putter. Putter is off on familial type things, I believe, over the course of the next couple weeks here. So we are carrying on. We'll be having me do as little as possible for him because I don't like playing other people's player characters for them. But there's a couple of times where I'll get them involved in things. Nonetheless, you guys had found a crossroads along your journey, trying to escape. You escaped the Claymouth by stowing away on a barge of workers that normally go to the Highmound Clays, and so on your way out, you got off the barge, snuck away, started traveling on your own, ended up at a crossroads where you met a whole bunch of merchants, one of whom was quite happy to have you escort them directly to his home in what's known as a town called Score Hill, which is in the Glazierblatt Forest. And so you've been accompanying Roland all the way so far. You had a minor encounter with a large swarm of wasps, but Farrar came out okay on the other side. It was mostly Farrar that took the brunt of those stings. But you guys now make your way. Yeah, a big target. Lots of wasps too, so big target. You make your way to. You got to the edge of the Glazierblatt Forest, and that's where we're picking up. So with Jetta, with Farrar, with Putter, and with Bob, you guys approach this forest, and Bob would relay this to you as you're going along a lot of the way. What you see, first of all, of course, is the path that you're on. It is a very well-traveled path. If you can think of a highway in something in medieval era, that would be this one, because there is a good chunk of traffic. You're very seldom at a point where you don't see somebody up and down the path. Except, and this path you now know by way of Roland is called the Course. Except now that you're getting into the trees, you think you probably are going to have a little bit more cover. And this is an old forest. At the edge, it doesn't seem to be all that lively. It doesn't seem to be all that large or all that old. It's the edge of the forest. You kind of work your way in, and as you work your way in, you can see that there is some deadfall. Some of that some trees may have gone across the roadway. Don't block the traffic. They just have fallen from deadness. There's also still lots of living trees around. Many of them are deciduous. kind of like not maples, aspens and such. But you also get some coniferous in there, some spruces, some pines in here. So it's a nice mix of the trees. But they definitely don't have a lot along the bottom of the trunks. They're tall as you get further and further into the forest, and they get thick with the foliage. And you can see along the path that there's obviously been a couple of times where a tree has fallen across the road, and merchants have had to shove it to the side so they can continue on their way. And aside from this path, if you looking into the forest on either side, you get the sense that there's probably not a ton of sunlight that makes its way down through the canopy. Um, Nonetheless, it's not unwelcoming. It's just old. And Bob tells you as he's going his home isn't necessarily quite like this. That he likens it to that neighbor who has so much going on in their family that they just don't clean their house. It's welcoming. You're always welcome to come inside. It's just that it hasn't been cared for the way to pristine condition. And so there's a couple of places where you could see that there's a little bit of rot. There's a little like black knot diseases and such like that on a couple of the trees, and maybe a few patches of trees. Just because they haven't been cared for, they haven't been able to grow out into the sunlight. They haven't been able to have um, wafts of air to help them out. It's just an old forest. He'll also tell you after now you guys got to the edge of the forest just kind of around the noon hour, the high sun hour, and you pressing on into the forest. You will have one overnight here in the forest before you actually get to Score Hill, and so I'm going to ask if there's anything in particular you guys would want to do. This is Jed and Frar, and Bob to a certain extent. Bob's actually where you guys are going to stop. Bob's going to give you a quick little heads up that this is actually probably about as close as the trail gets to his home. Any further, and you're going to Score Hill, but you'll be going like a half day max away from his home. So you have to decide, I suppose, perhaps at nighttime, if you're going to escort Roland and his wagon, who's been comfortable company, all the way into Score Hill, or if you're going to stop early, or even just take him into the gate and that's it. It's up to you guys. What do you want to do?
Okay. Can you say how far the two are away from each other?
I'm gonna say from the two from where you are to Score Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably about 3 hours away. Too far away to want to travel too much in the darkness.
Got it. Okay. And then where would Bob say that his people are?
Bob impression. Here we go. I was gonna say, well, our gate's gonna be about. I'm not doing it. God, forget it. Forget it. Bob would say that it's basically due left or due southwestish. Yeah, southwest of where you are.
So it would be quite a bit of a detour then, if we kept going to Score Hill.
Potentially, yes.
Okay. So we'll probably make peace with Roland then.
All right.
If that's okay with Frar, of course.
Yeah, sure.
Roland's gonna say, well, I won't lie. It's been nice having company all the way back, but I am basically home already anyway. I promised you each a few gold here, and so he passes you all out 5 gold, which you guys can now put into your pouch.
5.
Oh, thank you. And
stay for the night, though.
Yeah, of course. We wouldn't travel through the night anyway. I actually have a gift for you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's something to remember us by. And I hand him one of the dick statues I whittled.
I know exactly where this will go.
In your ass?
No. I have no idea what to tell the missus about this. But it's a good story.
Gift for her.
Mm-hmm.
Opens up a crate, puts it inside.
And just remember, the traveler loves you.
Make sure you get on one knees.
For the traveler? Oh. I won't. Good night.
No, wait, bro. I'm guessing you have something for me too, right?
Some coin? I've already given you the coin.
Oh no, a gift, a parting gift,
I'm
right?
supposed.
I want to cast intimidation.
Okay.
You're casting intimidation.
Okay, that's the second time you
My
said.
special
What are you
power.
doing exactly?
I'm just like okay, you know how in like JoJo's. I'm sure you've seen JoJo
Oh,
before, at least
yeah,
the
yeah, okay.
memes. Yeah. You know how they're just like standing and they're just like there's these texts that says menacing or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Just
This is
like
basically what we're
go go
seeing
go
over
go go go
Takaz
go go go
foreheads.
go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So get you to do me a favor. You rolled the intimidation check. I guess I should roll mine. Yeah, I rolled it. That was Cox. Never mind. Good. Never mind. It was still a 5. So he says to you, yeah, I can. What? Whatever. That crate that he just put the statue in. He kind of reaches in. He says, eh. He just kind of pulls out what looks to be like a bracelet of wooden beads. I sold everything out, but I mean, I don't know if this will fit on your hand. Even he hands over this bracelet of wooden beads to you.
Oh, I'll make it into a necklace.
Just stretch and go.
Just tie it to a rope.
All right, so you guys settle yourselves in for an overnight. I'm going to only do one because I do want to get into some storyline here a little bit. So let's get who would be keeping watch in this case.
Probably me.
Okay, then I'm gonna get now that Bob's here. Hi, Bob. I'm gonna get Bob for me to
Hello.
gonna get you to roll for me a d20 if you don't mind, please. Second roll of the day. Cool.
7.
Jetta, roll for me your perception check, and we'll use yours for the night. Nice. 24.
24.
So, kind of getting settled in. The previous night was more comfortable. You could see a lot. Right? Like there was open sky. There was very few trees or boulders or anything like that getting in your way of seeing long distances. Here, it's not so much. Your distance, the distance of view that you have here on this path on the course in the Glacier Blad Forest, is short. You can see to about 20-30 feet into the forest, and only if you do get really active about looking about it, because it is a thick old forest. Look, you can comfortably see up and down the path. You do not notice that there's too many other people camping nearby. In fact, actually, come to think of it, as the night wore on, the course got quieter, and so you feel like most people try to time themselves around here. They seem to have a pretty good idea as to when they're supposed to leave, so they can arrive on time. But aside from that, and listening to some of the fauna, you hear a couple of wolves well off into the distance, just howling off. You do hear a couple of bat screeches that kind of fly by, and some owls that are particularly active. Actually, a couple of times in the middle of the night, you're afraid that the screech owls that come screeching through are going to actually wake your party, but they're tired from the day's travel. And but your night goes relatively uneventfully.
Awesome.
You wake up the next morning, and it is it's actually pretty nice out. There's no breeze, just a couple of leaf rustles that you hear. You do feel a bit of a breeze, I should say, from coming down from the course through the course. It's kind of like a breeze way. That's got a little bit of a chill to it, not much. Definitely seems to be coming from the north, and this is just the only place the wind can go. But aside from that, you guys have the morning. You've also helped Roland pack up, we'll say, and Roland carries on his way to Score Hill, leaving you, the four of you, and you're still trying to figure out your party name, behind. And you can now start stepping with Bob's lead into the thick of the forest, looking for his home. So, Bob, how would you do that?
I think when the course, which is the trail going from the river to Score Hill, reaches the forest, I will tell. What's his name? Sorry, I didn't have my sheet. Wait, I wrote it down.
It was Roland.
Roland, right. I'll tell Roland we will get off here. Thank you for your service and for the travel, but we won't be going all the way to Score Hill, but we'll be going straight into the forest from here.
And
I'll
actually, we
visit you soon.
and he'll say to you, "It was a pleasure." I think. And hops back up onto his wagon, just kicks the horses up, and
were we not gonna get paid for?
oh, you've already got. He's already paid you guys.
Alright.
Yeah, he's already paid you guys.
Check. Which was that again?
5 gold
GP
each.
or something?
Yeah, 5 gold
Ah,
each.
we
So.
talked it down. Eh? Last week we thought he was. We were offering him money to ride along, and we're like getting the amount down, but actually that was the amount he was going to pay us for protection.
Yeah,
So I intimidated him to lower it,
I saw that. Good going, guys.
and then Jetta cast persuasion to lower it even more.
Oh man.
It was really bad.
really nice. I've now added the extra 5 gold to Putter's sheet, so if he's asking, I got it already on there for him, so he's good to go. All right, so you step into the forest.
I of course just came in. Have we met our new?
Not yet.
Partner? Okay, just to make sure.
Yeah.
This way, guys, as I step straight into the forest. Right next to the path, I just go straight in between the trees and start walking off-road.
I can't believe we lowered the amount he would pay us.
No. You know what's crazy though? I don't
The
think
Potter
that guy
still
will
asleep?
ever forget us.
No, especially me.
Yeah.
I've peered into his soul.
Oh,
He will always
God.
think of nuts when he thinks of us.
Of
That
being-
is true.
All right. So, Bob, with advantage because you're familiar with the forest, I'm going to get you to roll a survival check, if you will, to try to navigate your party safely through without too many twigs stabbing them in belly buttons.
Before that, I will look for a critter
Okay.
a bug.
and use another animal messenger to send a message to my village.
Sure. Flying
At least
critter
to the-
or ground critter?
A squirrel.
A squirrel, sure.
One that can go pretty fast, ground or airborne over between the treetops.
Sure. And so you do see one that's it's a good solid 14 feet up in the lower branches of the trees, just kind of leaping from one branch to another.
Whisper into its ear. Tell him, of course, to go to my tribe to look for my mother. Find a woman whose name is Kate. Kate Moss.
Great moss.
Kate Moss.
Oh,
And tell her I'm coming, but I'm bringing strangers. But they are of the friendly kind. So don't stabby them. Please tell Peppy.
And off he jumps up. Thanks for that. Off he jumps up onto the roof. Hey there, Goofy. And
Thought
jumps
your village were pacifists.
across some branches and leaves and just off. You do catch at one point in time, further into the forest in the direction you're going, that this squirrel actually does quite a large jump and stretches out, and skin folds open up, and you managed to find yourself a flying squirrel to get there. So you're
Natural
gonna
20
get nice
for survival check, as I'm in my home forest at the moment.
That's fair.
That's
This
fantastic.
way, guys.
All right.
As along the way, I point out, like, that's the tree where I ran my head in when I was riding a boar when I was younger. Wild moment.
but
You can,
I'm
you
wondering.
can still see the crack in the bark.
Bob, I'm
Spectacular.
wondering,
Yes.
are all your names one syllable?
No, no. Well, some are. My father's name is Ron,
That's one syllable.
but my mother's name is Kate.
That's also one syllable.
It is.
It actually surprises me. Your names sound like almost like common names.
Well, it's the influence we get from living in the Triangle from 3 human cities, I guess.
What about
Oh.
Steve? Do you have a Steve?
I want to meet Steve.
And as soon as you
Only-
as soon as he says that, you're reminded of one of the guards like a distant cousin, a second cousin 3 times removed or something like that, who is named Pete.
Well, there is a Steve in the village actually, but he lives in the other family. You see, there's 2 families in our tribe. We have the Mosses, and we have the Leaves. And there is one guy living there whose name is Steve Leaf.
I would like to meet this Steve Leaf.
That
Well,
sounds
good
like
luck
a
with that.
thief.
They always live high in their tree huts, looking down on us Mosses. But no doubt he will be there.
Leaf. Moss. I get it now.
Oh,
Your day continues.
we're
Go ahead.
simple, but
Your day continues into the forest as you're trying to explain how the family dynamics of the Leafs and the Mozes go. Um, Bob's done a pretty darn good explanation. You get the sense that there's a lot of interplay between the 2 families, but there's still a little bit of a physical, literal, and figurative hierarchy that kind of exists in there. Nonetheless, he leads you on forward. Bob, as you continue on, you feel confident that those messengers have probably arrived, but not necessarily confident with what you're going to experience when you get there. As you're kind of continuing through, you stop yourself stop the party for a second as you kind of notice a couple of unusual tracks, a little bit more edge to the tracks than your regular ungulate or pod animal. This one's definitely a humanoid footprint that's out here in the forest, and this is not common to see humans this far in.
wait. Normally, people from my village would scare away humans this close to my home. This troubles me.
Do you want me to
There's
kill
still a
them?
little bit of distance, but like no more than an hour away from your home.
So you said this is unusual?
Well, normally they don't come this close, to be honest. Like from here and miles out to our home, we watch them and send their prey the other way so that hunters don't bump into our home, or that woodcutters don't cut the wrong trees.
Hmm. Should we follow the tracks to see who this individual might be?
Probably it's how old are the tracks?
They don't look any more than a couple of days old. It's dry. It hasn't been raining, so there hasn't been anything to kind of to soften the tracks either.
And which direction are the tracks going?
They're going kind of at this point. They're going kind of parallel to the course towards Score Hill-ish area, except obviously south of Score Hill, just straight through the forest, crossing your direction that you're going right now.
Maybe you should check it out, and meanwhile I go and talk to my family.
We'll kill this one for you.
Team murder. I like it.
Don't you worry, buddy.
Wait, will you guys even be able to find me if I go my own way?
Well, which way is it?
I'm already lost.
Just that way?
No. I can point the way, but in the forest you lose your direction pretty fast.
I have excellent eyeballs, so
Well, to-
it could work.
well, maybe we should. I have a better idea. How about we just go follow the tracks? I know they lead away from my home, but to be honest, I'm not that eager, if I'm honest, to go home anyway. I wasn't a very popular person.
I can't believe that. You've been awesome when you've been with us.
For you, maybe my star abilities are normal, but for my tribe, it made me an outcast. They
Oh, really?
called me a freak, a street lamp, night light.
Do you glow? I've never seen
Already
you glow.
I think already several times you've seen me use my star form, where my all the joints light up and they make the constellation of an archer.
I'll be honest, Bob, I never paid attention.
What are you, like blind? I literally give light when I do it.
My head has always been on the game.
Well, that's true.
So you guys gonna follow the tracks then?
I think so.
Go you.
All right.
You
A little
take
bit of
lead,
murder
Fra.
will make you feel better. Don't worry.
Maybe you should take the lead, Fra.
Me?
Aren't orcs like good in tracking or something?
All
Sure,
right.
but not me. I'll give it a try.
All right, roll for me a survival check to try to keep your eyes on this trail.
I'll be honest, Bob, I have no idea where I'm going.
I'm going to say, because Bob rolled that nat 20, that you're going to use the 12. So you have kind of Bob's guidance saying the path is going that way. So you got a little bit of help. So you're walking into the forest right now. And it's every time you kind of get about 5 feet trying to follow this trail, and there is a trail there. You don't. Sometimes the footprints seem to kind of fall underneath some leaves that have kind of grown out over top. You know how leaves can change the direction to follow the sun. They just seem to kind of fold underneath. You can have to look around to find the trail. Rook.
Yes.
Hi.
You've been in the forest
Hello.
for a couple of days now, trying to lay low. This is not home. What's it look like where you've set up camp in the Glazerplatt Forest?
So Rook has pitched up a small tent, a decently sized tent. It's shoddily put together because she has no idea how to put up a tent, basically. So it's like pitched together with some sticks. It looks like it will fall apart in any second now. She has like a simple bedroll shoved inside there, and well, she has a couple of like. She has her fireplace set up. She has like some cooking stuff, but yeah, it's like small and cozy, basically.
And you have been here for, I'm going to say, 2 sleeps at the very least, and it is now getting close to midday. What are you doing in the forest while you're out here?
I have to look for food, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna hunt for some small game. Hopefully, I get lucky this time.
All right. Roll me an investigation check to see if you can find yourself some small game.
All right.
All right. That's a nice roll. First roll of the game. Gotta like it. So, what tool would you be using to try to capture for yourself this small game?
I would be using my short bow. I
Okay.
just like try to shoot a rabbit or something.
Okay. You kind of keeping track of all of the things. You did not set up a quiet place to sleep and to make home. So, for the most part, the fauna have kind of given you a wide berth. But this morning, you finally found something. It's small. It's something though. And you look up and you can hear as a couple of twigs and a couple of branches kind of seem to bounce just a little bit. Small twigs, small branches are bouncing as a squirrel comes bouncing across some tree branches. And you train your short bow on it. I want you to roll an attack with
Oh
your short
no.
bow.
All right.
Poor Henry.
That short bow 14. 14's gonna hit.
Oh, damage.
That's a lot of damage. Oh my god. You
Oh.
skewer it like the arrow just goes right through the gut of this squirrel and just
You even
Yes!
cooked the squirrel.
Food! Finally!
and what you hear in the distance or no, actually this will be a little bit earlier before you guys even get there actually. So you've now got yourself this squirrel that you can have now got on a spit and the thing that you notice as you get closer is the smell of cooking meat.
Bob, do you smell that?
Not a lot, but it is there.
So cruel.
I can smell flesh.
I have an idea.
Must be humans. Because Firbolg are all vegetarians.
I would be interested in seeing if whoever this is friendly or not. What if I send my clone out
Wait, you have a clone?
just to see? I do. My duplicate. To see if they react to it in a negative way, and then if not, we can kind of press forward and see who
Or
it
I
is.
could just walk in.
There's that
I'm
too.
walking in.
All right,
Okay.
Farrar, you walk in and you break through a couple of trees, and there's this small clearing. It like there hasn't been trees that have been moved around, mostly just twigs. To see this ramshackled, put up tent, and this. What does he see when he sees you, Rook?
I'm like, oh, no, wait!
Oh! Okay, you see a small half-elven girl with short bob black hair, and she has like a scarf covering the half of her mouth, and she's donned in leather armor, and she's currently hunched over the fireplace, roasting a squirrel on a spit, like turning it ever slightly. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Wait,
you
you're
two,
Jedi, maybe.
well, and you step into the clearing here, Farrar. What does Rook see for the first time?
You see a tall figure that is just bound in red muscles. From what you can see, that the skin is exposing. But for the most part, he's covered in like a black kind of like gambeson kind of thing. And he has a helmet on, but you can see the tusks just sticking out like that, and the bright yellow eyes. He's holding a giant axe, and he just stomps over.
Shit, who are you?
You? No, wait. Who are you? That's my line.
I'm pointing my rapier at you.
I raise my axe. We can do this the hard way.
And comes in Jetta and Bob. What does
No,
Rook?
I'm hiding in the bush.
Oh, are you hiding in the bush? Okay, so Jetta, you can
Yeah,
step
yeah,
in
yeah.
if you're willing.
I would,
Okay,
yeah.
the roll me
Okay, now
roll me a stealth check then, Bob. And you see Jetta, describe what Rook sees stepping up beside Farrar.
You see a dark elf, a drow with like a long white braid, and she's pretty lanky. She's a little on the taller side for an elf, and she has bright red eyes, and wearing a holy symbol around her neck that is shaped like. Never mind.
Like, never mind.
And she just walks up to where Farrar is.
So you now see these two side by side. Knowing where you are from, seeing any orcish-like being and any dark elven being in Wesmia is already unsettling.
Who
Bob, you're-
sent you?
Who sent you?
No one. I was here for a couple of days and oh, god damn it.
That's exactly the problem. You're here, of all places.
Uh-huh.
Why
Well,
don't we try talking this out? I feel like we're missing part of the story here.
Well, and just for context here, Rook, while you've been out here, been kind of trying to get into places, and a couple of days ago, the reason why you even bothered to stop here is because every time you started moving forward again into the forest, you started to recognize the trees, and it was starting to get really frustrating, and it was getting late, and so you set up camp here, and you're still trying to figure out your directionality in here.
Are you here to kill me? Or I have to run now. I bolt.
Okay.
No, wait.
I chase after for some reason.
And she runs through the bush. She suddenly runs into the big soft belly of Bob as you look up, and you see a huge 7.5 foot big giant-like being with a huge afro looking down on you with a friendly blue face. Oh, well,
That is
hello.
terrifying.
Oh no!
I'm Bob.
Oh no! Don't take me back, please! Don't take me back! No!
Beside
and
Bob
grapple you.
is
I grapple
another. Sorry, you grapple her. Okay, go ahead and
Oh,
roll
no.
me athletic checks. Or acrobatics. You get to choose whichever one you guys are
Oh.
doing.
Oh no. Okay. I'm hugged now.
Gently. Just a warm hug.
No,
To
no,
keep
no,
you.
no.
Calm down.
No.
It's
Okay,
okay.
so-
It's happened to me before too.
Ah,
And
Are you
Bes-
calm?
Technically, this is the same way I was found.
Are you calm?
who are you guys?
Are you
Why are you
promising not
here?
to run away?
Let me go, and
But are you calm?
I'm not calm. You guys just showed up in my camp, and
Fine, I'll put the axe away.
okay.
I let go.
Do you promise not to hurt me?
I already did. I just
Hutter.
said so.
so you'll also see that there's another dark elven figure, male, beside Bob as well. He's basically just going to be silent for the most of the part and just kind of watching at this point.
All right.
But he is there.
Who are you guys? Did you come from Westlia? West what? Sorry.
In this case, Claymouth, probably.
Did you guys come from Claymouth?
No, we ran
Got
away
kicked
from
out of Claymouth.
She killed someone.
Yeah.
So you're
I
fugitives
don't want to
then?
start with that.
I love how we just jump right into it.
Hello. We killed somebody.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm somebody.
I did it exactly for that reason.
Wait. So you guys are fugitives? On the
I
run?
mean, if you look at it
You're
that
running?
way, I suppose.
Well,
I didn't do anything.
You shouted something about someone sending someone. I'm guessing you murdered someone too.
oh no, nothing like that. Well, I guess, but technically no. But
Torture.
anyway,
It's all favorite.
well, I guess that makes us kind of the same. I'm on the run as well, so I will put my rapier down.
I'm not on a run. I'm just on my way home.
You're on your way home.
Mhm.
I see. Well, my name is Rook, and you guys are
Granted.
I'm Frar.
Frar.
Bob,
I'm Jeddah.
this is
Frar,
Bob.
Bob, Jeddah, Butter. All right, got
Yeah,
it.
I'm Putter. Yeah.
Got it.
You want a cookie? Can I hand you a
Um,
cookie?
wow, it's been.
I make it myself.
So, Bob, just while you're there, roll me a perception check.
11.
Yeah, just it's enough. The average person will definitely see that there is a squirrel on a spit laying down beside the fire that Rook will have simply dropped to pull out their rapier.
As I look over your shoulder. Wait. Said Henry.
It is the same one as you sent the message through before.
Did you kill the squirrel here?
When, yeah, that's my food. I haven't eaten since yesterday, so I had
You don't eat the critter, so
no.
push her aside and
Ah!
like throw out the fire.
No.
Bob, wait! It's already dead. We might as well eat it.
Henry.
Oh,
I know you were supposed to tell my mom something. Now we're in trouble.
Bob really likes nature.
oh my goodness! I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
What's gonna happen to his 11 children?
Oh,
Can I eat the squirrel?
They're without a father now.
You can eat the squirrel.
yeah.
Well, it sounds
Yes.
like Rook
Okay,
hasn't
I-
eaten
I
yet.
take the squirrel.
All right, Big Red, have it. I mean, it's dirty. It fell on the floor. I can't eat that.
That's just earth seasoning.
Mm.
I have some rations on me.
Oh, that would be better than
Wow.
I
nothing.
will have
Thank
to tell
you.
his wife.
Yeah. I'll
Bob,
hand her
do
some
you want me
rations.
to bury him?
Thank you so much, Jetta. And
Yeah.
Bob, I'm so sorry. I did not know that squirrels are respected here.
He's hurling while
Oh boy,
Frost eating it.
are you calm
No,
now?
I haven't eaten it
Oh,
yet.
sorry, I thought you were chewing it.
Are you calm
Bob,
now?
I'm calm, but I'm sad. I'm sad.
I'm so sorry. You said that the squirrel will deliver a message or something?
Oh, it's not important now. We'll have to go to his wife and tell his 11 children that he's not coming home.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So mid bite, I just look at Val and then pull my mouth away. Should we take this back with us?
I don't think that will be good for traumatizing the children of Steve.
No. I don't think that's a good
We
idea.
should give him a
either.
proper burial and bring him back to. Give him back to Mother Nature.
Well, there's still some
I
meat
can
left
perform the
here.
ceremony.
Here.
Oh, no, thank you.
No, I'm giving it to Jenna.
I told you we were gonna bury it.
That's not on the floor. That is dirty.
It's the 5-second rule. It's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, no, Jenna.
I'll...
You're gonna bury it.
Oh. That's right. I
It's
can
okay,
perform
we-
the
we
burial
can-
rites. I
we
am
can
a
still get
cleric.
something, and then I stick my finger down my throat. We can still get something.
If she is here already for days, that means my people have not been able to scare her away. Maybe there's something wrong in the village. And I suddenly look towards the direction.
Sure.
Probably not far from here anymore.
No, not very far at all. I'd say probably would get there within another half hour.
During my stay in the camp, have I noticed any of his kind walking around the forest or something?
Let's do a retroactive perception check then.
All right. Perception.
They're very good in hiding.
That they are.
Apparently they are.
Okay.
Hot diet.
Not so much so that you have seen his kind in particular, just that you've had this sense of being watched, and not necessarily being able to locate exactly where.
Oh, okay. Well-
My roll was really high too, so
Bob, if it gives you comfort, I mean, I was here a couple of days and I kind of sensed that I was being watched. Like
maybe
the
you're
trees are
maybe just
flapping.
paranoid because somebody's. You're on the run, aren't you? Not you just said so.
Yes, that too. But the trees, they look like they had faces or something. It's just really creepy around here.
Um, what are you on the run from exactly?
Stuff.
Torture.
Well, I committed murder, so it can't be that bad.
Oh
Not
yeah, that
racist.
is bad. Wow, my goodness.
Stop mentioning the murder.
I'm sorry, I did it, and I'm still coming to terms with it, okay?
How exactly did
proud.
you commit this murder, and why are you talking so openly about it?
She's proud of
Well,
it.
no.
Oh,
I am
Well,
at least proud of
slightly.
it.
It was kind of impressive, but no, it was horrible.
I didn't know you had it in you.
I'm still confused. I didn't know I did either. So anyway, we were in a fight club that we started because we wanted to blow off some
Became a
steam.
kill club.
And I'm not very good at regular fighting, with weapons and stuff. I'm magical, so I tried to use some magic, and I murdered him on the spot by accident.
It wasn't an accident. You knew what you were doing.
I thought I could non-lethally.
wait.
Okay,
I mean,
Obvious.
all right. What's the spell's
maybe
name?
not.
What's the spell's name?
We're not getting into this again.
Have to accept.
It was
That's all.
inflict wounds.
What does it do?
Ouch.
It drains someone's life force.
Exactly.
It literally
point has
inflicts
been
someone's wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have known about the Fight Club in Claymouth?
No. This is not one that you'd be familiar with at all.
That sounds rough, Jetta. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Well, it was an accident, so you didn't know.
Theoretically.
You're the first person to say that. Thank you.
Oh,
I look at Jen and said, I'm sorry then.
I like Rook.
I like you guys. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's safety in numbers, so is it all right if I tag along with you guys? As you guys aren't gonna hurt me or murk on me or something, are you?
Maybe.
Uh,
It depends. Are you
No.
gonna screw with us?
We're gonna kill more critters.
for food maybe, but if I don't have a reason to hurt you guys, then I won't hurt you. It's all good, guys. It's all good.
And it'd
I
be
think we should keep her.
pretty dope to have another elf in the party.
Hmm.
How long have you been doing this?
On the run?
Have you killed someone before?
Yes.
Have you ran from authorities?
Yes.
What's your hobby?
What's my hobby?
What's your
Yes.
pin code?
Ah, here. I'll show you. I whistle for my owl.
Whoa!
Landing on a branch right behind Rook's head is this very small owl. Describe the owl for us.
So it's a really tiny owl, and he's like round and all brown and white feathers, and he's got this big yellow eyes just looking at you, tilting his head side by side. But yeah, I train checkers sometimes. He can do some tricks, I guess. Still getting him to fetch stuff, but yeah. Checker, say hi. Come here.
Putter for
I
his
look
part.
towards Bob. Sorry, go on.
Putter for his part is going to do a quick little gesture with his mouth, and just. I'm sorry. I'm telling Night Shadow to stay away. I don't know if he'll get along with him.
Who's Night? What?
My bird. My raven.
Where's your bird? I don't see it.
That's my point. Carry on.
It's in his imagination.
Oh, okay.
He's a little crazy.
Yeah, we've actually never seen it before.
Lean into the owl.
He just like talks about it.
Oh,
I
It's now canon.
lean into the owl. As I can, beasts, they can understand me, but they cannot talk back, so I do not understand them. You, the little one. Can she be trusted?
You don't understand what they say back.
Not if
Mostly-
it's
Well, and as you're trying to reach out to Checkers, who is actually at about the same height as your head anyway, because you're tall, you don't feel purchase. It's really strange. They usually can talk to any beast.
I hear this as an owl. Nobody else can talk to me. Or at least they understand me.
Well, that's because Cheddars is a magical owl. See, watch this. I poof Checkers out into his pocket dimension.
Oh! You mean like this? And I also cast a familiar. A squirrel
Oh,
this time. Neat trick.
same trick. I like you, Bob. I like you now, and I'm sorry about the squirrel.
Oh yes, I forgot. And I'm sad again now. Put it away again. I just forgot about it.
Well, let's have a burial. It'll be
Well, you
a
seem
good bonding
okay, but
experience.
you may not know it, but you're very close to the hidden home of me and my Firbolg tribe. We were on our way there. I may not be that warm welcome when we come, but seeing you are so close to the camp, it may be better to bring you along than our tribesmen finding you when I'm not here.
That sounds fair. I mean, I could accompany you, and as a token of my regret, I will make amends with you that way. I'll accompany you to your home then.
Thank you, but like I said, I don't think we don't take kindly to outsiders. So I'm not sure. The Henry was supposed to send a message that I'm bringing outsiders to the camp. So that
Okay.
message did not reach.
Can't you send your magical squirrel instead?
I could, but that one can talk. So
Fair enough.
I can send a message through an animal. If I speak the message to them, they repeat the message to the receiver.
Well,
All right. So over
Henry
the course
won't
of
be
the
bringing any messages anymore.
Instead, now we hold a message.
well, why not just walk back into your home and deliver the message yourself? It is your home after all, isn't it?
Or it is, but I kind of ran away, so
I get you.
I'm
I
like
get you.
the black sheep from the family.
Mm.
Especially when it's the leaves concerned. My family, the mosses. A moss stays low on the ground, is what we always say. Strong roots.
Well, if you want, Bob, I could help you look for another small critter and we could send that message.
No, we're close anyway. Let's just see what they'll say. Just don't make any sudden movements or be how do you call it? Aggressive.
Okay. And we probably shouldn't mention the murder, right?
That would be a good start, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My lips are sealed.
Putter's gonna say which one, the one in Claymouth or the squirrel just now?
Either or would be. Mentioning murder is like off the table now, please.
Okay.
If you guys want to stay low.
1, 2, 3. Murder. It's out of my system.
It's a little bit harder for me. It's a common thing back home.
All right. And you guys are now having these conversations. Jeddah having now buried the now 2 bite less squirrel that is now into the ground. You guys are now having this small conversation as you're walking with Bob's lead and keeping that natural 20 that you had earlier on, forward navigating your way. But for everybody else, let's get a group perception check. Just actually, no, I'm going to go for passive perceptions. Rook, what is your passive perception?
My passive perception is 13.
Okay. Anybody got higher than that?
Mine's
Also
17.
Okay, so then Jetta, you're going to be probably the first one to notice it. At one point, you actually feel as though Bob is taking you in a circle, and so you're expecting that, but you're not going to say anything because apparently he knows his way. But after a little bit of you going what feels like a circle, you don't see any of the trees being familiar, which like you were expecting. So you kind of do a little bit more of a look around, and you can see the leaves look slightly unnatural. And as you continue forward with Bob's lead, at one point the leaves you get this little shimmer as you kind of walk through something. And then immediately on the other side, and as each of you step through this little shimmer that Jed is going to notice first, the forest completely transforms in front of you. What was once an old and had the variety of living and deadwood trees that were settled in there, what you see now is a pristine, well cared for, almost elven looking like forest, where all of the trees have been well kept. Any deadfall has been moved away. There is a small amount of ground cover that is lush and green. The air is a little bit more open. The trees allow a little bit more light in, and you get the sense that this part of the forest that you've just walked into, just like right through a barrier, is much healthier, much more comfortable, and much more open. But it's also not just the trees that you notice, because immediately to your left, you see a large stag, huge extending antlers, and what's more important on it is on the back of it is a Firbolg, looking down towards you guys. That's far enough. Bob. And who you see here is Pete, another moss.
Hey, Pete. I'm back. I kind of brought friends. Sorry.
We know. Ron told us already.
I hope Peppy is okay with it.
Not really, but your mum is. So you're going to go have to say hello to Peppy and Nana.
And he walks like a kid who is in trouble, with his head down.
And so you guys are watching as Bob's demeanor completely shifts. Usually he's a relatively jovial guy until you start killing people, and then he still keeps his demeanor pretty strong. But this is the first time you've actually seen Bob kind of slump. And you kind of get the sense you should just kind of fall in, perhaps?
I pat him on the shoulder to let him know that there's another buff guy with him.
Yeah. I'll pat him on the shoulder as well, but you feel a little bit of magic go through you, and you now have advantage on charisma checks through enhance ability.
Nice.
And from me, you get comfort.
I will follow sheepishly behind.
So you guys start walking down through this path, and as you're walking through, you're now taking in the sights and the surroundings, and what you see are little huts that have kind of been built into trees. Sometimes the trees actually forming part of the hut, for that matter, as if the tree has been nurtured to grow into that shape. And then sometimes you look up and you see what appears to be more like large, massive twig and leaf and mud-ridden created nests in the upper branches, and they just seem to dot the skyscape and the groundscape out in front of you, all of these different little huts. And walking through them, you do see a variety of other Firbolgs, a variety of colors, largely blues and greens. But there's the occasional slightly yellowed Firbolg as well. But they're all looking to you, and they're all just kind of hushed and whispered, and they're pointing specifically to Bob first, and then to the rest of the weird crew that is with him, and just kind of observing while the Pete on his stag is actually walking alongside you. Now Pete also has in his hand a quarterstaff with a gnarl of twigs that kind of form the top of it, and just kind of has it in like this in this kind of like a flag mount on the side of a color guard horse, except it's a stag, and is just kind of walking alongside you, and kind of leans toward, kind of looks towards you, Rook first, and says, "Stick with him. You step out of line. We've been watching."
Okay. Okay. I
He'll
will
be your
slink
only hope.
close to the board.
And then he kind of kicks up a little bit towards you, Bobs. "Why do you bring strangers home?"
Well, they need guidance. And some of them have lost their path, so I hope Peppy can help them.
Isn't that the blind leading the blind?
Well, it's what the code should do. And you know we live by the code. I may not have been home, but I've brought the code with me, and it has brought me back home. So whether you like it or not, here I am. And yes, I brought strangers to the doorstep.
We'll see what Peppy says. And just continues to guide you, and you guys start getting into this one area of this well manicured, and not even actually manicured, just nurtured, well nurtured forest. Well, a manicured one gives you the implication that like white picket fences and lawns that are perfectly shorn at a specific length. That's not what this is. This is, everything is still very much natural, but anything that would cause rot or decay is taken out and then used to help create the huts, or used to create small campfires to be able to cook up some soups and things like that. It's very much a nature commune. That is where they definitely value that nature. As you guys step into that, what seems to be kind of, it's almost like a circle of trees, uneven circle, but a circle nonetheless. And there is this large hut that a number of Firbolgs have been kind of gathered around. And as you kind of are led into it, a few more Firbolg kind of gather in just to take in whatever this show is. But you see, kind of holding on to a cane, a slightly bent over Firbolg, much older, most of the fur grayed or white by this point in time. And it looks up, and the Firbolg wrinkles of age adorn her face. And as Bob, you see here Nana. And beside Nana, you also see your mom and your dad. You see Kate and Ron. And off to the side, kind of a folded arm, Carrie Ann. At this point in time, none of these Firbolg are young. They've been kept away from this particular place. And Carrie Ann is just kind of sitting along the trees near the outskirts, but you do notice her, and you do notice your parents there too. And Pete,
What is their facial expression?
roll an insight check.
I think, by the way, that Rook is the only one who catches the celebrity names that all the muscles are. Every time one of my siblings or family members are being named, I can see you chuckle. So if you haven't noticed, we had
It's
Ron
amazing
Moss,
though. It's amazing.
Ron
Yeah.
Moss from The Bald and the Beautiful,
Yeah.
which is my father.
Kate
Kate Moss,
Moss.
of course, the famous model, and Carrie Ann, of course, from The Matrix. Carrie Ann Moss.
It's been a
Awesome.
lot of fun reading this, just so you know. Okay, so insight check.
Inside, yeah, sorry. I was a little distracted. 10.
10. So it's tough to read Carrie Ann's face in particular. She's inscrutable on purpose. Mom is really easy to read. You could see the joy in seeing you again on her face. Dad's is also not too difficult to read. So the average person is going to definitely tell that he's got an air of nervousness about him. Nana looks as regal as she has always looked. When I'm picturing Nana, just to kind of give the players an understanding, not the characters, but the players an understanding. I'm picturing the warm, welcoming visage of Queen Elizabeth II from 1992. So she's a little bit younger. She's not at that towards the end of her days, but
Just to be sure, she's not my Nana. That's what I don't know if you understood that from the. She's the Nana from the Leaf side.
not yet.
So-
These guys don't know that yet. So
No, but I
did.
mean you. For you,
Yeah.
it's she's not my nanny. Not the Nana from Bob. That's what I mean.
Yeah, and you can
So
actually
there's just
see.
two L. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you can actually see that there's actually a variety of different adornments that the Firbolgs are wearing. Some of them are very much wearing the leathers and living up to the Moss name by basically having what appears to be more ground-related things. Whereas most of the other people, there's a number of the other people who tend to decorate things with leaves on their on the filigree of whatever it is that they happen to be wearing. They also have these belt clips. And as you see that, as you notice this on Nana, you also notice a couple of other Firbolg kind of drop down from above, and that's when you recognize it. There's a system of pulleys that are used to help people come up to the canopy level, or zip lines to help transport things from one space to another, all made out of rope. And so very much natural. You can see counterweights now that you've started to pay attention to help get things up and down to basically what seems to be two different communities, one living on top of the other. But Nana is already down here to the ground, and she's going to look to Pete and say, "That'll do. You can take Carrick out." He said, "Oh, my apologies, Nana." And he dismounts the stag and starts leading the stag out. Says, "Bob, been a long time."
I've kind of been away from home, Nana. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Sis.
As get Dad's like, and Mom's like, "Hi, hun," and Carrie Ann on the other side. That's it. That's all you get from her. And
These are my friends. This is Fra, Jeddah,
Hello.
Butter, and we just met her. I think her name is Rogue.
Hi.
first time
I-
in decades that we've had outsiders. You know what this means.
I forgot.
And from behind you, you hear kind of a gravelly voice, which I will not be able to reproduce. I'm going to get a little bit more help here to do it. You recognize the voice of Peppy behind you. It says,
Oh, it's
It
muted.
just goes muted. Is
Can't
that what he says?
hear.
Yeah, I was gonna trying the voice mod.
Oh no.
"Dang, fine. Okay. It means we have to move."
Move.
Move.
And so you guys now realize that you are now surrounded, and you see another older, but not certainly not as old as the lady that was speaking to you earlier. It's very strong, leathered skin, Firbolg, standing behind you with an air of prominence.
But there was also an elf, right?
Putter is also an elf, yes.
So it's 3 elves and an orc, then a half orc that I'm bringing.
That is correct.
Technically, they're not the humans that live in a Score Smooth Dead or Timber. They come from a land more far away, from Stiag.
They still know where we are.
They
Technically, I don't.
they pinky swear they would not tell, except her. Point out to Rogue.
I honestly don't know where I am right now. I'm just laying low. I hide
I'm
behind
gonna-
the two tallest members of the party.
I'm gonna let you, Bob, roll a persuasion check with advantage then.
19.
19. 19's pretty good. Okay. And he just kind of stands back on his back foot and kind of goes. Get the voice back from Nana on the other side. They're now definitely flanking you on purpose. And Nana says, "Well then, why are you here? You left. And you don't come back after you leave."
The stars told me
That's
the trees are being hurt in the east, so I went there, but
And
what
were
I
they?
found were... Yes.
And are they still?
On the other side of the bay, the redwood, they call it the redwood woodlands, has been cut away almost half. I found him also investigating this. Point to Fra.
I killed the invaders.
You stopped the deforestation.
Well, not me personally, but
Then we found out with the help of my friend Jeddah here, that was even before we met Fra, that an evil druid was doing weird things to a white butt tree.
And whispers all the way around the court. What feels like now a court that is happening here right now. It's at this point in time that Ron speaks up and says, "I think Nana still needs to know what you hope to get here now that you're back. Are you staying? Are you leaving? And why? Be straight about it, Bob."
I didn't even think of it. It was such an, in the last session, it was such an, let's go visit Bob's town. We're nearby anyway. What are you actually coming to do? I don't know. I just missed home, and we were nearby, and they murdered somebody, and no.
Oh, come on.
Oh, and then they start closing in.
Bob.
Like Pete, by this point in time, Pete is back, and he starts closing in on you guys, and a bunch of others who've got quarterstaves in their hands start closing in.
Bob start to grab.
I just met them. I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Bring up my fist. You better back up.
and Nana just goes like this with her hands, and immediately everybody calms down and just holds their position. They don't keep closing in.
Sorry.
And she waddles with her cane over to you, Bob. And she is much shorter than you. She is age has definitely diminished her size, or else age has increased yours, one or the other. And she pulls your head down into her shoulder and just embraces you.
You smell funny.
I know, Bob. I know. I always do. It's the prunes. Just deal with it. And she just pats you on the back.
He sniffs. Like,
And then she releases you to let you stand once more. And takes a couple more steps back so that she can still be seen by the court. Bob is still a moss. And we are all intertwined. He may have chosen his path. And he should keep to it. but we always take care of our own. Right, Peppy? And Peppy says, that is right. But we must take extra precautions. Outsiders should never know. Otherwise, we lose this. How long, Bob? How long do you need? And this is when your mum steps forward. Bob. Stay. Just at least for a day.
Me and my friends are heading up north. We have business there. We need to reconcile something, and we were hoping for some warm bed and familiar faces, Mom, as I hug her.
And she just kind of, I will take responsibility. He's my son. And he's Ron's son. And therefore, it's on us. And small murmurs and light gestures to one another. A couple of people still very much cross-armed and standoffish. Others just kind of nodding to each other. Mostly, you get the sense that it's because they really have no idea what's going on, or they just don't care. So, but they're there for the show. And they eventually Nana says, well then, one night. Some provisions, perhaps. And you never leave business undone. So you should be off to it right away. That's it, all you. You guys have things to do. Go. Make your soups.
Soup.
And everybody kind of settles and starts kind of dissipating around. Pete, for his part, who took his stag away and hitched him up, stays with you guys. And you get kind of, there's a little conversation that happens between Pete and Peppy. And Pete stays, just chooses to stay with you guys. I'm to stay with you as well. You'll have to accept it, Kate. Oh, I certainly do. Come on. And she starts leading you towards kind of a southwest area of this forested area. You have a couple of private moments as your party is being led towards what you would presume to be Bob's home. Is there anything you guys need to do or say before that happens? Before you get there?
You know, Bob, this place isn't too much different from where I'm from. At least the vibe.
And were you popular where you came from?
No, thought I mentioned this. I was half. I had a legacy that I couldn't live through.
Well, that sounds familiar. Maybe you and me are not that different.
No, I guess we aren't. And I pat him on the back.
Even the voices are the same.
All right, and as you kind of get towards your house, Bob, what does your house look like?
My house
what do you
is,
remember of your house, I should say?
The house is made out of logs. It's a very low house with lots of windows on the side, and over the roof, of course, a thick layer of moss.
And there is a couple of things that are slightly different about it. You do notice there's what used to be much smaller toys made from wood for Firbolgs are now replaced by what seem to be like slings, or there's a swing on a tree nearby as well. The kids have grown up a little bit, and
I've not been I've not been away years, huh?
Oh, has it not been years? Okay, fine. I'll take it back one step then. The toys are still there, then.
I've been gone the length of the campaign basically.
Okay, fair enough. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's a few 10 days, I would say.
well, it's greener then. It's a little bit greener then, right, at this point in time. And Kate will take you to the threshold, and she'll say, turn to Ron and say, I'll put something together. Maybe try to make them. do soups? Looking to the rest of your party.
Oh yes.
I do plenty of soups.
Okay.
Do you
I,
need any help?
I
No,
can
that's
cheat
okay.
this on.
That's okay. I can do it. And she opens up the door and steps in, and you can hear some things moving around on the inside a little bit before she comes back out with a cauldron full of just stuff, potato, other root vegetables, a couple of what seems to be some fruits that may have come from nearby bushes or something like that to sweeten it up, and is just setting up the cauldron on the outside. Meanwhile, Ron kind of pulls out some stones and stumps for you guys to settle down on, and he just kind of sits down, his elbows on his knees, looking at you guys.
I look around,
I
shift
look
my
back.
eyes around.
I meet with his eyes.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to. I don't know what you even are. Bob, what are who are these people? You are people, right? You're not like something else.
I'm plenty of people.
Last I checked, I was a people. I'm elf. I'm an elf, so yeah, I'm a half elf. If that counts.
What's the other half?
Oh, human.
They
It's a
can do
long
that.
story. What do you mean they can do that? Of course they can.
Well, I don't know how humans work. They are supposed to stay away.
Fair enough. I mean, why such the distrust towards humans?
For the same reason, apparently Bob went to see a different forest. They cut things down. They sow death, not life.
I see.
Where I'm from, humans are the most weakest.
So we should be worried about you?
Maybe
And
not
P-
you. I
And
think you
Pete,
should
for
be
his
glad
part, is
that I
actually
did.
staying just a bit of a distance, but you could definitely feel this looming essence that is a very muscly Firbolg on the just kind of nearby, watching the entire time.
I just googled the Firbolg deity, Iolanis. It's the best deity I've ever seen.
Really interesting.
Actually, I gotta check that out.
Unfortunately,
Here, click on the link and watch the image. I will do it. Let's
oh
do it off screen.
no.
Do it off screen, by the way. Not suitable for.
Not suitable. Okay, well, I'll do
Oh.
that later then. I'll do that later then. Actually, in Olivos,
Best deity ever. Best deity ever.
God damn! You know what she
yeah.
reminds me of? She reminds me of the Dark Souls lady.
Now I'm really scared, and I have to see this
Oh
later.
yeah, the giant lady.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
art. It's art.
It's art.
God
Firbolg
damn.
in Olivos, Firbolg will either choose to not have a deity and just worship what would be nature, or to worship what used to be known as the Balolan spirits or the old Balolan spirits. And so there is a page on that stuff in the World Anvil. I'm leaning, and in this case, Firbolgs would probably pick and choose their favorite spirit, if there was to have one. I'm trying to remember which one would be yours. Probably Bob, because of the stars. But your parents would. I'll look that up here real quick while we're doing this too. But because I wrote it so that I wouldn't have to remember it. That's what I do. I write things so
It's
I
not
don't have
that
to
my
remember.
whole tribe is the Circle of the Stars. It's just something that happened to me.
Right.
That's
So
the
you may,
background.
but each of the Firbolgs may have a particular spirit that they get pulled to. It won't be the whole tribe who gets pulled to it. So, not necessarily anyway. So, in your old Balolan spirits, perhaps your parents or your family would be pulled towards the wolf, probably spirit for community or strength. Is probably a fairly common one amongst yours. You might have a couple that are raven followers who are tricksters, but for the most part, or the hummingbird spirit for the spirit of peace. So you got a few options there that might be there. Which ones do you? Is there a specific type of thing, whether it's old
Hummingbird,
Bologna spirits?
the peace one is more appealing.
Okay, so your father will be towards that end, but may sometimes struggle with that. Whereas mom, no problem. She is a hostess with the mostest, and she is boiling up this very pungent, strong, rich-smelling stew that even makes Frar's tummy grumble, despite the fact that there is no discernible meats in it.
I'm shocked.
And she passes
Can you
out
step away
these.
1 minute?
Yep, for sure. She passes out these bowls of stew to each of you with these. They almost look like clay spoons that she is handing to you guys for eating.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you so
I-
much.
I hope this is sufficient.
Your name's Kate, right?
Yes, Kate Moss, at your service, as it were.
Well,
What a great soup.
this is wonderful.
The soup is great.
Kate,
What's
I know
in
this
it?
might be like an awkward question,
Uh,
if I may ask.
Yes, of course.
Would you be willing to adopt me?
You're serious?
Yeah, I don't have parents.
Yeah.
Oh, you
You're
poor
You're
dear.
like the best mom ever.
You poor dear. Oh, hun, that's not fair to you. It's not fair to me, unfortunately, though either. I'd only just met you.
But already, you're the best example of parenthood I've ever seen.
Oh,
Because there's none to compare it to.
it's-
I
Oh.
agree.
She she was beaming, and then you said nothing to compare it to, and she's like,
Oh, no, I'm sure you're still the best.
maybe. Just enjoy your soup. It's and in answer to your question, it's got a variety of nut pastes in it too to kind of give it some thickness, but also get
Of course,
many
it would
other
be nuts.
creatures. Many other creatures tend to, they like to kill things to eat them, and we just don't do that here. But the nuts provide us with all sorts of things that help us build up our muscles.
I see.
The fact
It's
that we're
delicious.
nuts in the group.
I know.
It's the running
It's really
theme.
delicious.
Jenna,
That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Jenna, did you
Yeah.
hear? It's nuts.
Kate, I wish my mom were like you. You're so kind and understanding, and you make really great soup.
Does your mom not make soup?
Oh no, she doesn't. She has someone else make it. It's been a
understand.
while.
You do give the sense that the metallic stuff is more interesting to you,
The metallic
and to
stuff?
you too. Yeah, it's the I don't know what you call them.
Spoons.
Well, no, these are spoons.
Oh,
They're made from metal, and you trade them to get stuff.
Oh, you mean money?
Yeah, yes, that's it.
I see.
It's not a thing here.
So how do you trade stuff then?
We just trade. We help each other out. We're a community that way.
I have a
And
few
when everybody,
axes that I don't use.
Sorry.
well, that's not
I
usually
offer
used.
an axe.
But we don't. Here's the thing: you only give it to us when we actually have need of it. Ron actually just finished finding all of the dead wood we needed. So thank you. But we don't need it right
I have
now.
another axe too.
Oh, Kate, would you
Which one?
mind signing this piece of parchment for me?
I suppose.
I lean into Jedi, no tricks but my parents.
Okay. They were adoption papers.
Dear, let me learn you first.
Understandable.
Okay. Meanwhile, Ron is kind of sitting beside you, Bob, kind of polling you and trying to learn a little bit about what you've gone through recently, and just trying to figure out what it is that you want. And you finally just kind of listening to a couple of your stories. I hate to say this, but you, as much as Nana probably doesn't want you to know, you're just not welcome here anymore. Not by the rest of the group.
Ron, you said, was talking?
That was your dad.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not. They don't
I
teach you
know,
this. When you're born, they don't give you a manual on teaching you how to get kids to stay home and do and deal with the wood and work the soil. They don't teach you how to do that. So
You don't think
I'm
I don't know that? I tried to live by the code, but the leaves always look different ever since the stars gave me this power.
well, and if the stars are giving you power, then you'll always be looked at as, frankly, a freak.
Well, that's the reason I ran away. And I'm sorry I did that. I didn't mean to cause our family any disregret.
You know, I always knew you were something different. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with you. But I gotta take care of Carrie Ann, and I gotta take care of the kids. I gotta take care of Elizabeth.
Also, Elizabeth's mom. Also, British extra.
I got,
theme.
and I'm afraid that I'm afraid for Elizabeth. She's a wild spirit just like you.
Oh, well, we need to. Does that mean I'm being exiled?
I don't know that you would ever be exiled, but I don't think you would ever be able to stay again.
That's the same. As it is common knowledge that whoever gets exiled is never ever allowed to come back anymore.
Well, then that's what it is. I guess
Let me just say my last goodbyes then to the family. I wasn't able to do that last time when I snuck away in the middle of the night, and it always kept eating on me. Maybe that's why I returned. Now that I am hanging out with this group, maybe my subconscious told me to come and say goodbye, and I hug him.
and he very awkwardly gives you the hug back and the pat, and you can feel it, some of the tension in his muscles. That's something he's not quite settled with something.
Man,
Yeah, totally man hug. Yeah, totally man hug.
Yeah, put her there, buddy.
Yeah.
And you now have your own bowl of soup, and it is definitely the warm nut soup that you are so used to. Filled with it's the right time for a couple of the your favorite berries, the sweeter raspberries, to sweeten up the soup a little bit too. So
Here for us, taste this.
I have
You
my
don't
own
need
bowl.
meat. You don't need meat to have good food.
I guess
I'm gonna
nuts is
Try and persuade him to become a vegetarian.
hold on. Hold that thought. I'll be right back.
okay, sounds good.
And in
So
comes the pizza.
Lots of meat.
He always it's always dinner time in the session. So
yeah, so and that's good.
Accepting.
So you guys enjoy what would be an outdoor picnic styled family meal, as it were, and get the sense for how the family works. There's an awful lot that Kate in particular does to try to facilitate the trade that you guys were talking about. Most of the time she's the person that people come to know who they should be getting for help. and who they should be doing some trades with. She just knows people, and she knows the entire community. It would be the equivalent of a Firbolg gossip without the nefarious social element. So she's and there are people that just seem to come up to the house and then stop and when they see that you guys are there, and seem to think better of it and walk away. Pete, for his part, he takes a bowl of soup as well, but he stays away, just far enough away. And eventually, Kate pulls you aside, Bob, and says, "You left before you could get your staff."
Well, I don't think I deserve it anymore, Mom.
Bob, everybody gets one. Elizabeth will get one when she comes of age, too.
I make my own now, and I show her the staff I have on me, which is
comes,
basically like a branch of a tree.
This
Piece of
won't do.
dead wood.
This won't do. Come with me. And
I follow her.
She leads you towards one of the more sacred areas of your community. There is this very large oak that grows in. Definitely, the community has grown around this tree, not necessarily evenly, so it's not like a great big circle, but it is definitely somewhat central to your community. And
the tree where all the quarter stars are being made from.
Basically, yes. And you know this because the quarterstaff that Pete's been carrying around, you've seen other people have theirs, but they don't necessarily carry it with them. So it is definitely one of those definitely a tool after a fashion that is used only when necessary. Do you have Druidcraft?
I'm druidic. I speak it, of course, druidic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have Druidcast.
Okay.
The cantrip, no.
Right. Okay. That's what I would just want. I figured as much, but she takes you to the tree, and she takes your hand and she places your hand on the trunk of the tree, and says to you, "I know it's the stars for you, but you came from here. Feel it. Just for a moment." And she keeps her hand on yours.
8 on nature check.
Okay. And she kind of looks to your head and just, no, not the bark. That's not what I'm talking about. Listen to the energy inside it. Listen to the life.
As I use my Firbolg trait, speech with leaves, to talk to the tree.
Sure.
Hello. Can you hear me, old big tree? It's Bob. I came home.
And you feel this warmth come up your arm, into you, across your shoulders and down through your torso. It's not a sense of language that you're getting. It's a sense of history, a sense of age, a sense of timelessness, a sense of seeing.
Grounding.
Yes, exactly. Connection. And when you realize it, you put your hand, you start to realize that this is not just coming from this particular tree, that it's coming from through the roots that extend to other trees that protrude out of the ground. And you've never been given a chance to do this before, but listening to it carefully with your mom's guidance taking you there, you realize that all of the trees in this community are actually one large tree.
I feel it, Mom. The connection. It's all connected.
Just open your eyes. And you open your eyes, and she's got a new staff in her hand. And she gave this to you. Just kind of pulls it a little bit out of the soil, hands this over to you. And you grab the staff. It's sturdy, it's strong. And it's got a very similar gnarl of twigs towards the top that come to a point.
I choke up and hug my mom. Thanks, Mom.
Take us with you everywhere. You say you live the code. It's in that staff.
I don't think we'll ever see each other anymore.
We may. But it might be a long time. And she gives you a great big hug. Tears coming down her eyes. Or her
Kiss her
cheeks.
on the cheek.
I need you to add something to your sheet.
I will.
It is the Staff of the Woodlands.
So nice of the woodlands. I'm actually a little bit teary-eyed, guys. Sorry.
It's all good, man. That was really heartwarming.
You
Little
have the
bit
remainder of
closer.
this evening definitely in your own home area. You don't get the sense that you're welcome to go wandering the village. But you can take the evening with your friends and with your family. Carrie Ann hasn't made an appearance yet.
How about little Elizabeth?
Elizabeth will definitely make an appearance. She'll come out through the forest at one point in the night and, hello, Dak. Good to see you in the chat. Sorry, that was a distraction. My ADHD kicked in. We're good to go now. Elizabeth will come out and will just kind of gently tug on your pant leg once. You got one.
Sorry about that. I got really hungry when you were talking about food.
Yeah.
So I made,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I made me a couple of sandwiches.
You just missed Windy making me cry, so...
Yeah.
Well, we can just say Flower is enjoying his soup.
There you go. His flat soup. I see. Okay. Elizabeth comes up to you and tugs on your. You got one.
And I take a very big walnut that I found foraging long ago. Something that does not grow here in our forest. I found it in the redwood forest. This is for you.
It's big.
I want you to plant it here, in our garden.
I
The
can
garden
have-
of your mom. And it will grow. And always give you nuts.
like nuts. Okay. And she immediately scurries off to the back to start working on it.
How long did you have that big nut?
I've always had big nuts.
I bring up my fist for a bro fist.
Bob, your family's really nice.
I know, it's... The muscles are like this. Well, unfortunately, the leaves don't feel the same over me.
Well, no family's perfect, so you know.
I'm afraid we're not allowed to stay very long, guys. My father told me that it's best I leave tomorrow. And we should continue our journey.
What
Oh.
does that mean for you?
That means we go forward and don't look back.
Wait.
You are my new family now.
Wait, you're being kicked out from here?
I was kind already before when I left myself, but yes. All because of this. And I turn on my story form for you. As I show you why I am an outcast, as bright light suddenly starts to shine from all the joints of my body, and they form the constellation of a dragon.
That's beautiful, though.
And in the corner of your eye, you see a flinch as Pete takes his quarterstaff and kind of holds it at the ready.
See, that's what I mean.
I turn to him and I cast intimidation.
Looks at. Gonna make Sky spit on his drink. Roll it.
Of course, as soon as Pete
Oh.
As soon as Pete jumps up, of course, I turn it off again and tell him a twin natural 20.
God damn.
Yeah, he looks at you, and you actually wither instead.
Oh.
Calm down, calm down. See, this is what I mean. They will never feel the same about me. Best we
But
go tomorrow.
why should they shun something so beautiful?
We Firbolgs, we are family of the giants. We talk giant. Praktister Frang Klangbert. And people who talk giants can hear me say bravery, effort, and honor over birth. Or, but we have ties to your ancestors as well. As I repeat the sentence in Elvish.
I'm the
Wow.
only one who doesn't understand.
Potter, for his part, is going to say, it's a very honorable code.
I don't even know what you're saying.
Oh, you kick out one of your own family members.
We live a simple life here, and my magic is just not understood. But it has been the stars who have been talking to me, and they told me to go to the east of Ogopogo Bay, and that's where I met you, Jeddah. And
Is that the owl?
Sorry. Yes. Miss Checkers.
that's not the bird. That's not the first bird to appear in the stream, actually.
No, it's not. There's been a couple.
Yeah, Dick had a bird to babysit one time as well, right?
Yeah, I had a cockatiel. I used to have a sparrow too. The sparrow was really awesome.
Oh, cool. Sorry, sorry to cut you off. Please continue.
It's not
it's fine,
good.
it's fine.
This is our game.
I said my goodbyes to my family, and I don't want to stay too long. I don't know how long Jeddah can keep hold of herself without pranking. So 1 day, maybe 2 days.
Well-
3 days probably already happened. So.
Yeah. I already asked your mom if I could join the family and if she would adopt me. She said no.
Oh, well, you were always welcome, but you might also be blue, and we're blue. It's still not the same.
Yeah. I'm a little bummed, not gonna lie.
They are part of my family, and I do like chick 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 on your head.
Oh, so cute.
You know I got your back.
Oh, thank you. What's your
Carrie Ann
family
will
like,
appear.
Rook?
Sorry, Carrie Ann's just going to appear here real quick, just with a bunch of what seems to be like burlappy sack, kind of soft, like worn out, purposely beaten to try to be a little bit softer, bedding materials, and say, just hand them over to you, Bob.
Thanks, sis. We'll be gone tomorrow.
That's mine. Sorry.
You gonna say anything before I leave tomorrow?
I-
don't think we'll see each other again. Just take care of Elizabeth, okay?
Of course. That's my hat there. You get it. For tonight only. We'll stay with Mom and Dad tonight.
Thanks. I know that means a lot to me. And I'll lead you guys to the hut of my sister, where we can crash for the night.
Is it comfy inside?
It looks very well set up. Though you have the sense that this is not being the best child-proofed home, but there is definitely the semblance of the idea that there has been a child in here, and so there's trinkets like what looks like to be something like a top or a dreidel or something like that, made from an acorn, and just random parchments all over the place where that have these strange drawings on them, definitely of a child that made it. There's 3 spaces in here for you to set up a first bed. One of
All the
them definitely is a child's bed.
All the furniture is, of course, like 1.5 size.
Yep. So it's a child bed for a Firbolg. It'd be probably quite comfortable for a Jetta, as an example.
Dope.
You can sleep here for the night, guys.
Sounds good.
Nice.
I will look at the child's toys.
Sure. A couple of the drawings that you see there, they definitely look like the stick figure drawings of a child with not so much crayons because they don't have crayons here, but they're obviously like charcoal or something similar to that to use to draw things, and you do see two a male, theoretically a male Firbolg and a female Firbolg holding hands with another female Firbolg and another male Firbolg, and let's see here. Yeah, and then the female Firbolg has got another male Firbolg that she's holding on to, and then the little Firbolg.
And then all the way on the side in the forest, there's Bob's Firbolg. Like with little stars.
Oh,
That's rough.
And they're all waving. They're all waving.
can I find a charcoal
fucking 60.
piece or something?
A piece of which now? Charcoal? Easily.
Charcoal, yeah. All right, I take that and then I go over and draw us over in Bob's side.
Aww.
Ah, nice. Okay, so I'm gonna get you to roll for me just because we could do this. I'm gonna get you to roll for me. This is an unusual
Artistic roll.
It is do you have proficiency with your dexterity?
No.
Proficiency with your sleight of hand.
No.
Okay, then I want you just to roll for me a charisma check.
A charisma check.
Yes, what I was about to get you to do was what's known as a charisma sleight of hand roll, which is what I use for artistry. So
Okay.
usually you use dexterity for your sleight of hand. This time I was going to have you use charisma as your base one for it. So charisma 13, it's a pretty good stick likeness of all of you guys with it. Even Rook, if you wish.
I would like to note that I draw my stick figure taller than Bob.
All right. Do you put the raven? Do you put all your familiars on it too?
I put Chippy, but I have no idea if I ever saw the Potter's Raven.
Fair
It's
enough.
imaginary.
Checkers. Yeah, checkers. Okay, cool. So,
I'll just put text.
you guys settle down. You feel as though you are watched, and therefore probably don't need to be doing much of a watch tonight. You get comfortable in this space, and you are now staying for a single night in a Firbolg community in the Glazerblad Forest. Comfortable knowing that you are safe, understanding that this is not going to be a long visit, but feeling
Early
warm
tomorrow.
all the same. And that's where we're going to end today's episode.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, you made Bob cry.
I now count this as a DM success. Woo!
Always good when your
First
players
series.
shed a tear.
Yeah, I
You
have
know
one
what I
close there
realized?
too. I was like,
You know what I realized? All of us have parents' issues.
yeah,
Yes.
you all have parent issues.
All the characters have
Ev-
parents' issues.
Every superhero does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's true, and you are all well. Let's see here. We'll see.
and
Anywho.
exiled in some way.
And-
Yeah.
yeah.
My headcanon is that Jenna's always like,
Exiled
"Are you
nuts.
mommy? Are you mommy?"
Oh wow.
Uh,
Oh wow. All right. Well, I think we're gonna try and raid somebody here too. We had a really beautiful session today, guys. Thank you so much. That was really sweet. I
for
know that it
hosting.
wasn't necessarily what we were expecting to start off with, but I love what it turned out to be. Nerds of the West. I agree. That's where I was gonna go to next. I think we're gonna go and raid Nerds of the West. That's highly
Alright.
entertaining.
Everybody,
Thank
next week.
so I'll do quick little shout outs, quick little advertisements for the Twitch stuff. Guys, follow, like, subscribe, all of the heart things that you could possibly do. because the more that you do that, the more we can do more of our stuff too. We have lots of things already going on. We have Witchlight on Tuesday. We have Verad is running his Zelda campaign on Wednesdays. Thursday, we now have our random adventures that we started up, and I'm super nervous and excited all about at the same time for it. And then we're back here again. We also have a game in the Discord that happens bi-weekly. It's a Dragons of Icespire Peak game. So there's lots going on here on the channel. Thank you for joining us today. Come back again, see us next week. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend and have a great. Thank you guys very much. Let's raid.
Bye.
Shadow Legends.